first week learning about sleep cycles and circadian rhythms. And it seemed like from our discussion posts that you all were really engaged and really interested in that topic. And I think it's a great topic to learn about and to think about and the ways that we impact our sleep and also the ways that we can actually control some of those factors, especially as we think about you all entering this really special stage of life where sleep is kind of changing quite a bit, right, for teenagers compared to children and adults. So what I want to do this week is the same that I did last week, is give you an overview of the week, and we'll talk from there. So if we start here, let me zoom in a little bit. We have our weekly calendar again, and the focus of this is the sleep unit final project. Okay, so let me put myself right here in the middle. Okay, so as we think about this weekly schedule, it's very different from the ones you've seen in the past. Or excuse me, from the one you saw in the past. I feel like we've been doing this forever. From the one we saw in the past. And this schedule is more of a project-focused schedule. So in the email, as I mentioned to you, those critical assessments that you're going to do in order to get credit for this class, this is one of those. So I wanted to give an early example so you all kind of knew what to expect. So as we think about projects, all of the material that you learned last week was leading up to this project, okay? So as we look at this schedule, let's start on Monday, the 27th, tomorrow. I have a video called Sleep Stages Explained. It's not me explaining it, it's someone else, but I think they do a really great job, and I didn't see a need to replicate that video. I thought it was really good. So that will give you some more information about sleep cycles. But then Monday, that same PDF that you read last time, where you read pages 2 to 3, now you're going to read page 4 and engage in the same discussion type forum that you all did previously. So I'll pull up Teams in just a second, but everyone seems to have been able to get on Teams and engage in the discussion. So that's what we're doing for Monday. Tuesday is when we start the actual project. This is when it's going to be assigned. So you're going to read the circadian rhythms and sleep investigation document in the materials folder, okay? And that will provide instructions for how to do the final product, and I'll go over that in just a second. Then you're going to begin your evidence gathering and your outline. And I provided a cool website here. It actually has like a little interactive thing that you can do. So if you click this link, it's hyperlinked, so just control click. It will help you find more information and details about sleep specifically. And then really the rest of the week is going to be work time for you. Since we're limited to 25 minutes, and I actually really believe that's a good thing, so I want to make sure that I'm only giving you work that does equal that 25 minutes. So you'll see Wednesday is time for pre-writing that process if you're doing an outline, a rough draft. Thursday is also more work time. If you want to submit your kind of material to me for feedback, I'm happy to do that on Thursday. And then Friday is also work time. You'll also have the weekend to do work time and Monday. So Monday will be the due date for this project, and it's going to be due Monday at 11:59 p.m. So I also won't assign new work Monday to give you time. Normally, so that equals about an hour and so. So understand and know what your time limitations are. If you can belt this out, in one day, that's just fine. Then you're done with psych for the week. If you're someone who really does need that time to process and think and wait, you've got all the time from Tuesday all the way until Monday. If you wanted to start on Monday, right, after you're done with this, feel free to do that, right? I'm not limiting that. What I'm saying is that this is set up and broken out so that you do have a good amount of time, and I'm not going over that 25-minute per class per day limit, okay? So that's really a simple weekly schedule for you all. Now let me pull up the actual project, okay? So the objective is for you to be able to plan and carry out an investigation, and then you're going to use your findings and additional research to write an evidence-based argument. So last week, that's what you were doing. You were carrying out the investigation. You were gathering information and findings and getting some materials, okay? We're actually going off of science standards because psych is a science, so I thought we'd switch it up. And the 4 things that I'm focusing on is your ability to plan and carry out an investigation, your ability to analyze and interpret data, your ability to engage in an argument from evidence, and your ability to obtain, evaluate, and communicate information. Okay? So if you're all like, wait, I don't think I've done that before, you most likely certainly have in an English class or in a science class, you do a lab we're just doing this for psych, right? If our overall goal for the course is for you to be able to talk about psych in an educated way, this will help you do that. So let's walk through the directions really quickly. So throughout this unit, in thinking about sleep stages, and teenage sleep cycles, now it's your turn to use the information you have to make an evidence-based argument. So you're either going to make an argument to the Issaquah School District Superintendent advocating for a change in school policies based on what you've learned about sleep, or you'll make an argument to yourself about what changes you should make in your personal life. Okay? So think about those two options. You know information about the teenage sleep cycle. You know information about what helps sleep and what hurts sleep. You know all of this now based on last week and then Monday's video. You have a good understanding of sleep. Okay? So you are either going to say, Superintendent Ron Thiele, here are some evidence pieces and here are direct changes that should be made as a result of that. You can either suggest multiple changes based on the evidence, or you can make one big change based on the evidence that you have. Okay, or you can say to yourself, dear self, given this new information I know about sleep, here are the changes that we need to make in our personal life. Okay, so you can really take this whatever direction you want to. Aside from the reading and the videos that I provided you and the website, you can also use any other research that you do. So if you want more research to support your argument, you certainly have the freedom to go ahead and do that. Okay? I don't want to limit you. You can use whatever you want. Let's correct this. So the final submission is May 4th. Okay? And as you can see down here, I'm really not limiting you to how you do this. So if you're more traditional and you want to write an essay, that's totally fine. You can do that. If you want to do an infographic, you can also do that, where you maybe have your evidence piece laid out and then your action item, right? However you do that. I've listed some websites here that I know offer free infographic. Like you can make an infographic for free. You can do a video if you want. So if you want to make a video, you can do that. Fun video. You can even do really any kind of video you can think of, online format. You can do a PowerPoint if you wanted to, or you can do like a short recorded talk. So something like I'm doing. Maybe you have your face or you don't have your face, and you're just talking through like, here are the evidence, here's why. Okay, so this is the overall what you need to do for the assignment. Okay, so if we do this, let me take you to Teams and show you what that looks like in Teams. Okay, so here I am, and you'll click assignments, and it'll also be assigned to you. As soon as I'm done making this video, I'm going to assign it. I didn't want it to go out without any information. Okay, so you'll see it's here. It's worth 40 points. So let's look at the rubric. And you all know you have access to the rubric anytime, right? So you just click these little boxes, and that's how you can see the rubric, so you know how you're being graded. Okay, it's loading. There we go. So you can see the rubric is actually based off of the standards that are listed in the assignment sheet. Okay, so planning and carrying out investigation. Student shows evidence of pre-writing. Student provides an outline that clearly connects their overall argument to their selection of evidence and claims. Really, this is saying, do you have some way of showing me that you've thought about this, that you've considered, right, the order of how things are going to go, or are you just kind of presenting an argument that's really not organized? That's really all you need to get those 10 points there. Analyzing, interpreting data. Student provides appropriate commentary on various data points and evidence in order to enhance argument. All that means is you don't just say, here's this fact I learned. Blue lights make it harder to sleep, and then you stop, right? You actually have to give me evidence and talk to me about why that matters. What does that mean, right? How does that drive the policy change that you're recommending? How does that inform that? So just talk about the evidence that you use. Okay? Engaging an argument from evidence. Again, so this is you clearly stating an argument, first of all. So make sure at some point in your paper, probably the beginning, you clearly state what it is you're arguing for. And then using a variety of evidence to enhance the argument. So not just using one or two pieces, but diversifying your pieces. Don't give me 4 pieces of evidence talking about blue lights, okay? You only need one to do that. What you can do is you can blend some different ones together. So you can talk about circadian rhythms. You can talk about puberty and its impact on the sleep cycle, right? Give me some variety, some options, so that I know that you're not just making your argument based off of one thing, but you're making your argument based off multiple things. assignments. And the last one is obtaining, evaluating, and communicating information. And this kind of connects with this one up here, that you can select good, credible sources, but also you can explain why those sources matter. So you can see a lot of these are tied together, right? Because they depend on each other. And so it's pretty straightforward for how you can get those points, okay? I'm also going to attach the assignment sheet that I just showed you just a second ago. So just so in case you forget or you want to look at it on paper, it will be attached to the actual assignment. Once it loads, I'm just going to close it because you've seen this already. But I did also create, based off of the PDF that we've been reading, there is a organize your argument worksheet in there. This can be one way that you can satisfy that 10-point requirement for planning, is you can fill this out. Okay. So you'll see it has introduction. There's some options for that. The claims that you can provide, okay, and the evidence, and then your conclusion. Now, this is just a traditional format. You do not have to do this way. This is one recommendation. If a different way works for you, that is fine. Just make sure you submit that with your final project so I can see that thinking throughout, okay? This says 3 claims. If you want to make 5, that's fine. If you think that you can pull off doing one really big, strong claim, you can also do that too. It's really up to you. I don't want this to be restricted, okay? So whatever you do, you would put it in here. You would attach your documents here. If you did a video, you should be able to attach it, right? And all of that should be available to you, okay? So in essence, and then I'll click assign once this video is done, that is what your requirement is for this week, okay? It's pretty straightforward. You have one day of a video, and the rest of the time there's a reading, and then it's time for you to work, okay? I want to provide that time for you to work. If you need support, I have office hours here. You can also make appointments for other times. Just let me know what it is that you need. So hopefully week 2 is just as engaging for you as you kind of take this information you've been digesting and discussing with your classmates, and then you actually put it into action. Okay, that's that next step of using the knowledge that we're learning. So hopefully you have a wonderful week 2. I look forward to reading all of your, or watching or engaging with your final products. Have a good day. Have a good week.